Hello YouTube viewers, subscribers, Facebook fans, and family. Welcome to another edition of Joe's Politics 101. Over the last few days I've been kind of thinking about the gun control issues that's going on, the argument we have behind well, not really gun control, but some regulations, putting a few new regulations on how people go about getting firearms and who can get them, and you know, the number of rounds that a magazine can carry. Last week on Meet the Press, this old boy Wayne LaPierre had a lot to say about, you know, guns, especially guns in the urban areas, as so many people want to talk about in the urban areas. Now, he went through a list of things that people, that they should be trying to keep guns out of the hands of drug dealers, criminals, you know, and basically what that list boils down to is the people that live in urban areas, you know, like blacks and Hispanics and Vietnamese and, you know, Asian people. And you know, it in a way it kind of angered me, because when you look at the facts and you look at the statistics, most of the violent crimes that are committed in the urban areas are committed on, say, black on black, or Asian on Asian, or Hispanic on Hispanic, and every now and then it crosses over into the two getting mixed up in that. But these mass murders and individual serious shootings don't happen in the urban areas. You know, I was watching Fox News today, and they happened to report that a district attorney in Texas outside of Dallas was killed at his home. And in the process of talking about that, they were telling us, talking about that this man carried a gun everywhere he went. He was paying attention to what was going on around him, supposedly. And then there had been another district attorney that was shot down in a parking lot somewhere out there in Texas, one of this individual's co-workers. You know, I've said all along, and in a number of posts that I've made talking about firearms, because it seems to be that the NRA and the people who support the NRA and this so-called rigid and twisted and misunderstood Second Amendment seem to think that guns protect you. You know, and I'm going to say it again, and I've said it a number of times. Guns do not protect you. Guns cannot protect you. They're not living objects. They're something that's an extension of your body. You have to protect yourself with a gun if you can get to the gun, or if you know somebody's trying to do you some harm. This false sense of security that guns protect you is such an ignorant scenario. You know, how can a lifeless object of any sort protect you? You know, and this argument that, you know, I'm going to protect myself from the federal government or from anybody in the world, it's just not a viable or logical thought pattern or idea. You know, the National Rifle Association and Wayne LaPierre and all of these people that's so dead set that the Second Amendment means that you can have anything, any kind of weapon that you want, are living in a fantasy land. And that fantasy land being the idea that the federal government is going to come and do something to you, or they're going to have a tyrannical federal government. You know, if a lot of these people who's running around out there in Kansas and in the woods in South Carolina and Kentucky and Louisiana and Mississippi, Arizona out in the desert, California up in the Mojave, Washington up in the woods in the forest, Montana out in the middle of nowhere in the land of hell, you know, northern New York or southern New York, out there running around training on how to fight and how to do this here. You know, that's probably some good training if somebody ever invades our country. But to say that it's against a tyrannical federal government, Lord have mercy. Take a closer look at what's going on. The only tyrants that you see and the only tyrannical governments that you see are in the states. The state governments are the tyrannical governments. You can see it in Michigan, where the governors are just taking over cities. You can see it in Pennsylvania, Florida, and North Carolina, and all of these different places where they're attacking your right to vote. Those are things that people do who are trying to practice tyrannical government. They want to limit your rights, limit your ability to do and to help make decisions on how this country is ran. You know, it ain't the federal government that's being tyrannical. It's the state governments that's being tyrannical. They have that tyrants leading their states. You know, attacking abortions, attacking women's rights, attacking parent planning, you know, attacking these things. Those are tyrannical people when they're attacking your rights. You know, but everybody wants to get dead set on protecting themselves against the federal government. If there ever becomes a tyrannical government on a federal level, which I don't think will ever happen unless we get somebody like Paul Rand or some idiot out for the Republican side, it'll be the only way that we have a tyrannical government, because that seems like what the GOP is basically dead set on doing. They've always been a take away, limit your rights kind of party since I can remember. But you know, people need to wake up and think about what they say before they let it pop out of their mouth. Guns don't protect you. I'm going to say it again. Guns do not protect you. You have to protect yourself. And if you happen to have a gun, you may be able to do it with that. Stop thinking stupidly that a gun will protect you from danger. 9 times out of 10, it puts you in more danger, especially if someone knows that you're carrying one. You have a great day. Thank you for your viewing. This is another edition of Joe's Politics 101. God bless you. God bless America. And see you on the next round.